Sometimes love is blind, but in the NFL, blind love can cost you everything. Travis Hunter, one of the league's most promising rookies, just signed a $46 million deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That should have been the start of a fairy tale. Bright lights, big plays, and a life set for generations. But now, just months later, he's staring at headlines screaming about a divorce and a jaw-dropping $40 million payout demand. If that number's right, we're not just talking about a breakup. We're talking about a career-defining financial disaster before it even begins. And when you start putting the pieces together, the warning signs didn't just appear, they were waving in his face from day one. From the outside, Travis and Lyanna Lenny looked like any young, glamorous sports couple. Instagram-perfect moments, smiling selfies, and sideline appearances. But this week, that polished image cracked wide open. Reports began circulating that Lyanna, now in the middle of divorce proceedings, is seeking $40 million, nearly matching Travis's $46 million rookie contract. For anyone, that's life-altering money. But for a 22-year-old at the very start of his NFL journey, it's the kind of financial blow that can derail not just his bank account, but the trajectory of his career. And here's the kicker. Travis has a $30 million signing bonus already in the bank, but that's not fun money. That's supposed to be his foundation, investments, savings, security. To lose a massive chunk of it this early would mean starting his professional life deep in the hole. Yet, what really lit the internet on fire wasn't just the amount, it was the pattern. The story people are piecing together from old interviews, wedding choices, and even tattoos is making this feel less like bad luck and more like a slow burn setup. The current frenzy kicked off when Lyanna posted a short, tearful video. She didn't explain what she was upset about. No captions, no audio, just her crying. But in the digital age, silence doesn't calm speculation. It fuels it. This wasn't just a random moment. It came right as rumors of a possible split were starting to swirl. Almost instantly, the internet went into detective mode, coming through every clip, every post, every public appearance the couple had made. And what they found only poured gasoline on the fire.
You had no girl, so why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. Talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a...
People began sharing theories, timelines, and side-by-side video compilations showing moments that now, in hindsight, feel telling. And it all kept pointing back to one pivotal decision, where they got married. You might expect a young couple to choose a wedding location based on family ties, personal memories, or a dream destination. But Travis and Lyanna didn't pick Georgia or Florida, states where they have personal connections. They got married in Chattanooga, Tennessee. At first, Lyanna told Travis it was because of the beautiful venue. But the more people dug, the more they realized this choice might not have been about romance at all. Tennessee has a unique law. It allows alimony to be awarded without any minimum length of marriage. That means you can literally say, "I do" one day, file for divorce the next, and, if financial need is proven, still receive support. To many, this looked like a calculated move. The idea that this was Lyanna's suggestion has become a centerpiece of the online conversation, and when paired with everything else, it paints a picture that's hard to ignore. Even with the Tennessee twist, there's one detail that has NFL veterans, coaches, and even comedians shaking their heads. Travis didn't sign a prenup. This wasn't a case of him not knowing better. People offered to help. Lawyers reportedly reached out with free services. Influencers with millions of followers told him, publicly, to protect himself. NFL veterans, guys who had lived through financial pitfalls, warned him directly. But he brushed it off. He trusted Lyanna. And now, that trust could cost him tens of millions. The internet dubbed it the most expensive yes of his life. And just when people thought the red flags couldn't get more literal, they spotted something else, a tattoo of a dollar sign on her ring finger. While Lyanna said it was a nod to her love for rapper Lil Wayne, critics saw something else entirely, a not-so-subtle symbol that money was always in the picture. This wasn't the first time Lyanna's words had raised eyebrows. In a 2022 joint interview, she admitted on camera that Travis wasn't her type at first. She wasn't talking about looks, she was talking about the fact he was younger and had cheated on a previous girlfriend. There was no laugh, no playful tone, it was said plainly. For many, that clip became exhibit A of her being less than fully invested from the start. Then came the Heisman night footage. Travis was in the running for one of the most prestigious awards in college football. When his name was announced, the room erupted. Teammates, family, friends, all standing, clapping, celebrating. All except Lyanna. She stayed seated until legendary coach Deion Sanders physically nudged her to stand. That single moment has been replayed thousands of times online, and to many, it looked like a lack of support in one of his biggest career moments. Not long after, another clip surfaced, this time at an Adidas event. Cameras caught Travis mingling with fans, smiling, shaking hands. Meanwhile, Lyanna, looking visibly irritated, was overheard saying, "What do you want me to do? I'll just sit here." That line, paired with her body language, was quickly interpreted as disinterest. In a world where athletes' partners are often their biggest public cheerleaders, this clip stood out, and not in a good way. As the digging continued, fans found an older clip where Lyanna laughed while telling a story about her college days. Travis, she said, used to drag her to parties, wait in the car for hours, and then pick her up when she was done. She even mentioned how he never complained or tried to stop her from drinking, despite the fact that he doesn't drink himself. This might sound harmless to some, but paired with stitched footage of her dancing and partying, it became another brick in the wall of the narrative that she was more invested in her own lifestyle than in supporting Travis's career. And it wasn't just internet strangers who were sounding alarms. NFL vets, coaches, and celebrities all chimed in. Coach Deion Sanders flat out said Travis should have gotten a prenup. Comedian Godfrey called the "not my type" comment a massive red flag, suggesting she likely only showed interest once she saw his potential. Former NFL star Des Bryant told him, "She loves the attention more than she loves you." Even rapper Bow Wow accused her of openly showing interest in other men. Despite this, Travis defended Lyanna repeatedly. He explained away the $sign tattoo, insisting it was just about Lil Wayne. He brushed off the clips as being taken out of context. And then, in May 2025, after hearing every warning possible, he married her. The wedding should have been the happily ever after moment. Instead, it only added fuel to the fire. Clips from the reception had fans convinced she dodged a kiss from him. Not a single clear shot of a kiss during the celebration surfaced. When Travis surprised her with a $500,000 Mercedes G-Wagon as a wedding gift, her reaction was described by viewers as cold, detached, even indifferent. Then, almost as soon as they said their vows, the couple disappeared from social media. They turned off comments, stopped posting about each other, and avoided public appearances together. This silence didn't cool the rumors, it supercharged them. Old clips resurfaced, gaining millions of new views, with each one framed as proof that this marriage was never built to last. Just when things seemed to be quieting down, Lyanna posted another crying video, again with no explanation. The timing was uncanny. It landed right as the $40 million divorce demand rumors began to dominate headlines. Whether intentional or not, it reignited the frenzy. People weren't just debating the breakup anymore, they were breaking down the financial implications. With no prenup, Tennessee marriage laws, and such a massive figure on the table, the conversation turned into a case study in how quickly fortune can flip. This story isn't just about one athlete and his personal life. It's about a pattern we've seen across professional sports, young stars entering relationships without legal protections, blinded by love or loyalty, only to face massive financial consequences. It's also about how social media magnifies every public moment, turning private relationships into public spectacles where every gesture, every word, every facial expression becomes a clue for millions of self-appointed relationship analysts online. For Travis Hunter, this could be a career-defining crossroads. Whether the $40 million figure is accurate or not, the damage is already done in the court of public opinion. And if the legal outcome mirrors the public narrative, this could go down as the most expensive I do in NFL history. However, in an interview back in 2022, Lyanna admitted, calmly, without a hint of humor, that Travis wasn't her type when they first met. She didn't say it in a playful way. She didn't follow it up with a cute, "but then he won me over." No, she doubled down, explaining that her lack of interest wasn't even about his looks. It was because he was younger and, in her words, he had cheated on a girlfriend before. Now, think about that for a second. If someone tells you point blank that you're not their type, and the only thing that's changed between then and now is your level of success, it's worth asking, what's keeping them here? If it's not about looks, not about personality, not about values, then is it about opportunity? Status? Money? The internet certainly thought so. And once people started looking back, they began connecting dots that at the time might have seemed like nothing. but in hindsight look a lot like flashing warning signs. One of the first big receipts the internet pulled out came from the 2022 Heisman Trophy ceremony, a huge night in Travis's college career. Cameras were everywhere. The energy in the room was electric. When his name was mentioned, the crowd around him erupted. People jumped to their feet to cheer. Everyone except Lyanna. She stayed seated. No clapping, no smile, just stillness. And the only reason she eventually stood up was because Coach Deion Sanders, who was right next to her, physically nudged her to rise. That clip went viral years later, with people labeling it Exhibit A in what they now call the case against Lyanna's intentions. Was it just an awkward moment? Maybe, but for a lot of people, it looked like someone who wasn't invested in celebrating her partner's success, and that perception would keep coming back in future events. Another moment that resurfaced was at an Adidas promotional event. Travis was in his element, laughing, mingling, doing the networking thing that's practically part of the NFL lifestyle. Lyanna, she looked irritated, sitting off to the side. And then came the line that made people pause. "What do you want me to do? I'll just sit here." Again, maybe it was just a bad day. But the internet has a long memory, and when you put these clips side by side, the pattern starts to look less like coincidence and more like attitude. Now here's where things take a turn from awkward body language to actual strategic planning, if the internet's theory is correct. When Travis and Lyanna decided to get married, fans assumed it would happen in Georgia or Florida, places with personal or career ties. But Lyanna chose Chattanooga, Tennessee. On the surface, the reason was simple: the perfect venue. But when internet sleuths started digging, they discovered a much more interesting fact. Tennessee is one of the few states where you can get alimony without any minimum marriage length. That means you can marry someone today, file for divorce tomorrow, and still walk away with a check. The discovery sent social media into overdrive. People started speculating that the venue wasn't the only reason they chose Tennessee, and that the state's laws might have been a quiet safety net for Lyanna. Whether that's true or just another case of the internet connecting dots that aren't really there, it definitely added fuel to the growing skepticism around the relationship. Then came the turning point. In early 2025, Travis signed a jaw-dropping $46 million rookie contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars, including a $30 million signing bonus. For most people, this is the kind of financial security you dream of. But not long after, rumors began to swirl. Rumors that Lyanna was gunning for a $40 million divorce payout. That's almost the entire value of his deal. And while none of this was officially confirmed, the timing of her next move was interesting. She posted a teary-eyed video to social media. No caption, no explanation. Just tears, and it happened right in the middle of the backlash and speculation. To the internet, this looked like either a silent response to the rumors or a way to stir up even more attention. Here's the thing. Travis wasn't going into this blind. People were warning him from every angle. NFL veterans, comedians. Even Coach Deion Sanders, who literally offered to help him write a prenup this thick. Comedian Godfrey pointed to the "not my type" comment as the ultimate red flag. Des Bryant said she loved the attention more than, but instead of taking the advice, Travis clapped back. To Godfrey, he said, "You know her number, so don't speak on my relationship. You old as hell." To everyone else, he basically made it clear he wasn't hearing it. By May 2025, they were married. But even the wedding day itself became part of the online case file. One viral clip showed her seemingly dodging a kiss from Travis. Other people noticed that in all the photos and videos, there wasn't a single moment of them locking lips. Then came the gift, a $500,000 Mercedes G-Wagon. In the video of the reveal, instead of being overjoyed, her reaction was underwhelming, to put it nicely. You'd expect a newlywed couple, especially one in the public eye, to flood social media with photos, trips, romantic captions. But instead, they went quiet. Comments were turned off. Posts about each other stopped entirely. That silence, paired with the resurfacing of all the old red flag clips, kept the rumor mill spinning nonstop. Every past awkward moment got re-uploaded, retweeted, and re-examined in the new context of the $40 million divorce speculation. Then came the crying video, the one with no caption, no explanation, and perfect timing to reignite the gossip. People interpreted it in every possible way. Some saw it as a cry for help. Others thought it was emotional manipulation. And that's where things stand today. A marriage under a microscope, a husband on the brink of his NFL debut, and an internet convinced it's all going to end in the most expensive yes of his life. Whether the rumors are fact or fiction, one thing's clear: people will be watching every move from here on out. So, was this just a love story that couldn't survive the spotlight, or was it something else entirely? Was every warning ignored, every red flag dismissed, until it was too late? One thing's for sure: this is a cautionary tale for every athlete, celebrity, or anyone who comes into sudden success. In the game of love and money, the stakes can be higher than any championship. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories everyone's talking about.